We are back, Panthers family. I'm your host, Kirby Lupo, joined alongside my co-host, Cody Stevens. Nick Levine is away today. The Panthers start off good out of the Olympic break here. 5-1, victorious over the Toronto Maple Leafs. A must-win game with the Panthers here, as we'll get to the out-of-town scoreboard a little bit later here, Cody. But maybe you got to say...
Dono's here. Fernando with the 5. Appreciate it. And then Die Hard with the 5.
Wow. Thank you, Die Hard.
Thank you.
Fernando. Very loyal speakers, followers of ours over on the X platform. We will be back there sometime in the next week here.
We should be back there tomorrow night, most likely.
Yeah, tomorrow or Sunday. We're debating it back and forth here. But let me just throw it to you first, Cody. I know we want to start with the Panthers, but are the Maple Leafs done? That's not a good start out of the break.
Yes.
Not an easy trip to see Tampa Bay and Florida out of the Olympic break. But when you don't collect a point, it's looking perilous. Now, there's so many teams collecting points right now. I think that total now, Cody, going into tonight, I heard 97. Now I'm hearing 99 to make a playoff spot.
Yeah. I mean, they just came into the South Florida trip and got outscored 9-3. So not necessarily.
There's a tweet out there from Jameson Olive. Evan Rodriguez outshot the Maple Leafs in the first period.
Well, Erod had a hell of a game tonight. He was good all night from to the end. I thought Lou still had some good moments. Really tough to say a bad Panther tonight. I don't think there was much, if any. Like if the normal culprits probably were, but like.
Yeah, I would say like the fourth line was a little quiet tonight, but you get top 9 production. You get Marchand with 2 goals, hits the goalpost, then gets the empty netter. You get Matthew Tkachuk going. You get Carter Verhaeghe going on the power play there. Like you get a combination. You get a power play goal, a shorthanded goal, and a 5v5 goal with your first 3 goals of the game. So complete effort there. You can't be more impressed. Nick Levine said to me off air, I think that was the most impressive period in recent memory with the Panthers. He's going back to Paul Maurice. I'm like, what? Does Colorado and the other games don't count here?
I think Colorado's had the most impressive first I've seen from us in the Paul Maurice era. That's the one. Because in Colorado, when they've had everybody and you go up 3-0 in that building. But for me, it was just I thought everyone played really well, and I thought the biggest guy of the night, Sergei Bobrovsky, welcome back.
Yeah. The
new setup, the new mask.
Yeah, the new mask and the new pad setup. That's right. So, Cody, do you want to mention on Bob here, like people feeling he doesn't have anything left? I think a lot of fans weren't affording him this break. Let's start there. Let's not think ahead to the trade deadline, to the summer. Let's see what he looks like coming out of the break. And a lot of people weren't affording him that. And I think after tonight, they might be changing their minds yet again on Bob for about the 657.
I think a lot of people were I don't know what is with everybody, but like I feel like Bob is like everyone's always trying to look for the Bob replacement or whatever. Because like
Cody, I cannot tell you how many DMs I got over the Olympic break, even like heading into the medal round. All the stuff that was out there about Bobrovsky, because now it's been reported the contract talks are a long way. They haven't been really in talks, but this is commonplace with a lot of Panther players. We've seen it with Sam Reinhart. We've seen it with other guys. So all these things are out there on the internet right now, and they're all getting sent to me from members of the community and other members and other.
But you have to understand how our front office works and the player they're dealing with here. Sergei Bobrovsky is the type to focus on the season once he's in the season. I don't expect him to want to be any contract extension talks or anything. I think they're far apart because there hasn't been that many conversations during the year. There's a lot of mutual interest between both sides, and I'm not really too worried about them not working out a deal. I'm really not, but that's for the offseason. We'll see. But yeah,
and I know there's going to be talk leading up to that on our trade deadline show. We'll be here a week from Friday. We're trying to get all of our panels set up for that. We will be here for most nights on our post-game show, and if we're not, we're over on the Twitter X platform side. So again, and then we'll be looking to get some live streams. We need a break from the Olympics, but we will get some here in the next couple of weeks, especially if it's meaningful Panther hockey here, which we're going to see after the weekend here, Cody. This Buffalo game is big. Panthers weren't able to grab any ground on Buffalo or Boston here tonight, not even Detroit. They just won in overtime.
But you still have games against those teams, and like I said, just control your business. Everything else will fall into place.
Yes,
that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, and I would add a caveat that it might not fall into place because of how strong the East is. But like I agree with you, take care of your business.
But it's one of those anomaly years,
and kind of go from there, right?
Yeah, it's like one of those anomaly years, and then like with the way the season's gone, with all the injuries and stuff like that, like.
Good point here from Fernando. I felt the first period the Leafs were dead, and like I was like, is there going to be any pushback? And there was some pushback from the Leafs,
but just not enough.
But not enough when you get down like that, and the way that you're getting down. The Leafs had, and you can share the tweet later, or whatever. Go check it out. The Leafs had 8 turnovers in the first period, and I think 6 in the defensive zone. So I'm like, this looks really bad. Let me look at the stats, and the stats matched with the eye test. Sure, the Panthers look good coming out, Cody, but I thought the Leafs were really bad off a back-to-back.
It was a combination of the Panthers being good and the Leafs being very bad.
Yeah,
like the Panthers were quick on the pucks, quick on the forecheck, and like they were getting their chances, and they were shooting at their chances.
Was this one of the better games to start a game this year from the Panthers on their forecheck and with the energy?
Most likely, yes.
Because we, like Erod, like every line kind of like getting in on the forecheck, guys in the neutral zone. I didn't like some of the defensive plays tonight, like Forsling fell down a couple times. Sabrango didn't know where he was in his own zone. But I liked the defense overall where they kept everything in front of them. Because the Leafs, I'm not going to say they're a rush team, because they're probably not.
I don't think they are anymore without Marner.
But they're reliant on the rush when they're playing well. And that's the only way that maybe they were going to beat the Panthers tonight on a back-to-back, if we gave them rush chances and rush opportunities. Yeah. But Florida didn't allow them to do that. They couldn't even get out of their own zone.
Yeah, and then once like the second or third period and the Leafs did have their big push, everything was to the outside. Like Bob had to make his 2-3 big saves, whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
But they weren't like horribly big chances. Like excuse me.
No, it was like a push from them that you kind of half expected, and the Panthers did keep them to the outside. Now, I'm not going to say they were non-dangerous or non-threatening chances. I think Bob had
there were
saves tonight.
There were threatening chances. It's just it wasn't like it was before the break, where it was just like breakaway shorthanded, 2-on-1, 3-on-2s. Like it wasn't like that. It was stuff in the zone, and the Leafs maybe had a pretty good pass here or there, and it was stuff like just in front of them, but Bob made the saves. Bob's one of the best goalies in the NHL going east-west. Like, that's
I'll ignore that little first part there, Cinema. Marchand, it's hot. Okay, I got on them a little bit on the podcast, but Marchand in particular, there was 2 games he didn't even play. He was sitting in a tracksuit, so I can't really say he didn't do anything for Canada. I think the chances that he had were maybe minimal at times, but again, he wasn't playing in some of the games. Tonight, Brad Marchand really surprised me because we haven't seen this in a Panther uniform in the last, say, month and a half here. What's wrong with him? What's going on with him? How is he going to look like now? I'm thinking tomorrow in a back-to-back situation, because today he even had push at the end of the night.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I thought the goal by Verhaeghe was huge, and I thought Anton Lundell had another great game. Like we're the Anton Lundell podcast over here, and it's just
that's right. And we've been like that since last year. Fernando, great points here. I think Nylander was one of the particular Leafs that did not have his game early and was sloppy in the neutral zone, trying to go 1-on-4 through players. But then when he got going and some of the skilled players for the Leafs got going, and you feel kind of an unfortunate bounce there. Bob's looking for that kind of backdoor pass there, goes off Forsling's stick or whatever, and beats Bob there for the only goal of the night. But again, like a lot of the Leafs players, they're calling them out right now on Zach Phillips' show on Leafs Nation, Nylander, Matthews. But again, I don't know what you expect from the Leafs, which they haven't shown you this year. And then on a back-to-back, this is where Florida has the advantage of the situation.
From a standpoint, I don't know what more Austin Matthews could really do. Like I think it's more Nylander that's been the issue as of late, not really Matthews. Matthews had a couple of good games, and they still lost. And you can't blame this on Joseph Wall. I mean, which one do you want him to have?
The goalie can't even get ready in square situations. Panther players are just coming at him downhill all night long to start the game, and you're giving pucks away in your own zone, and you're being sloppy in the neutral zone. And I don't want to make this all about the Leafs, but Austin Matthews, are we entering a new era of him here where he's not that 65-goal scorer anymore? Like, he's doing things defensively, but he's not putting his team on his back. And you wonder about the health thing. You wonder about the consistency thing. He doesn't have Mitch Marner this year. That could be some psyche stuff. That was his line mate for the last.
I think he doesn't have
years.
I don't think he has anyone to get him the puck to score 65 goals.
So that's
like
simple fact of the matter of that. Yeah,
I think that's what it is.
Through the zone is what you're saying as a center.
Yeah, like he doesn't have like the Marner or the Huberto type to get him the puck, and like Nylander's like in between. But for passing, I go Marner, and then Matthew Nyes isn't going to set him up.
But you look at our centers, and we get on Bennett at time. Barkov wants to carry play. Bennett really does, even to his detriment. Lundell will carry play for his line. He, as much as people want to believe, he doesn't need Brad Marchand on that line. It's a luxury, but he can have another winger that we've seen Tarasenko, say Tarasenko and above. He can have a guy there that can carry and facilitate a little bit, but he still wants to drive play. If you're Austin Matthews, you're a number one center. You need to drive play as a centerman. It's not like you're going to be dependent on this wing player.
His time in Toronto's numbered. Let's be real. And I told you during the first intermission,
yeah,
that is the type of period that gets coaches fired. And not saying Berube deserves it. Let's just get out of the way. But that effort is the type where you're like, okay, you're starting to look at all options here. And
yeah, and now the Leafs have entered the fray for the trade deadline with all of these pieces that are out there. People want to know who's available and all that. Only Vancouver was confirmed today. I think the Leafs are knocking on that door now.
Yeah. And like, it was sad is like Bobby McMahon got put on his ass by Mackey. Like,
yeah, there was. What did you think of the physicality tonight? What did you think of the speed of the game? Panther fans maybe tuning in for the first time. I watched a little bit of the Leafs and Lightning game last night.
I don't think it was too physical. I thought the Panthers played like their normal type of game where it was physical enough. Like I really liked Mackey at some points in this game, especially on that on one of those rushes during the second where he had Tkachuk and then he just sped right down the wing and created a chance. It was stopped by Wall, but still. And then the unfortunate offsides call. He was offside by a mile.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. I wasn't
like they didn't even show the clip. They just showed the picture. I'm like, God damn.
Yeah, right away.
Like, oh, that's offside.
Are we spoiled as Panther fans? Because I've heard other fans complain about coming back from the Olympics and seeing their team. I thought out of the gate we looked really good. It was exciting play. You don't expect everything to connect, but like that was the most ideal period coming out of a long break for the Panthers here.
You know what Adonis says? I believe that was Erod's first. That would shock me a bit if that was his first career shorty.
Yeah, I think I saw that up there in the chat, so I'm assuming that was heard on script. I had TSN tonight.
If it is, that's actually kind of shocking because I think Erod's been on the PK a lot of his career, especially early in Pittsburgh and Buffalo. Like that's how he kind of got
Buffalo. He was right.
Yeah, I would say that's kind of shocking. That's his first one. But he had a break away from the red line, and no one was even in the camera frame. And poor Joseph Wall, I mean, he had no chance. When a guy has that much time and that much space, it's just, what do you want the goalie to do?
Yeah.
Like, be shaked out of his pads. It's a hell of a goal by Erod. And the only thing is just like, the power play one, you nearly had that tic-tac-toe goal, but I thought Tkachuk was just a bit too shallow on that pass. But for me, like, I still don't like Bennett on that first unit. I really don't.
Oh, we got to be positive here tonight, but I want to ask Cody how we're back to hitting Timmy in the sixth row there. Remember that shot from Bennett? Was that the second period there?
Yeah, it nearly got us out of the zone.
Almost out of the zone. I think we just kept it in there. I think Ekblad was the better of the top pairing today. I thought Forsman was kind of all over the place. Ekblad looked refreshed, rejuvenated.
I will say shout out for Ekblad for going after Benoit on that Reinhardt hit. I don't think it was necessarily a bad hit, because
I didn't like that hit. What do you think?
I didn't like it, but it was like he started at the side. He didn't hit him right in the numbers. But it's kind of
like, why are you making that hit there? Like on Ryan, like what's the purpose of that?
Trying to get his team going. But then,
I'll call it greasy, and
yeah, it was a greasy play. I don't think it was all the way dirty. I've seen dirtier.
Yeah, that's fair, but like I'm like, oh, like where did that come from?
I don't think that's fine or suspension worthy. That's just, I think that's just a penalty.
I don't like guys jumping guys when there's a clean hit. That was fine with me.
That was fine.
And Ekblad coming in, I'm fine with that.
That's one of the few times you're like, I don't mind that Ekblad penalty. I'll take that one.
No, I don't mind. I don't like the one earlier in the game, but I don't mind that because I don't like that hit from that angle there on one of your star players and whoever.
Go right.
That's where a guy can get concussed when he's coming around. They're like, "Well, watch the puck or watch the man." That's a dangerous spot to be in, and then you're going to be in the train tracks with a guy coming and barreling down on you on the side wall there on a play on the wall.
Yeah. And then I thought Petrie was okay. Sabrango, man. Balinskis was Uvis at this point. Not necessarily. Like the defense was good enough. They kept everything in front of them. Mikkola was pretty good, I thought.
Yeah, like I heard some good stuff from Petrie in our community off air. Some people said, "How did you feel his game was?" I
thought he was fine. Like I'm not like here's the thing. I'm not as hard on him as like everyone else is, thinking like he's like pure dog shit or something. Like I don't think he's been that bad, but I don't think he's been like good or whatever. But
diehard, yeah, like I said, no help from the out of town scoreboard today. That's frustrating, but again, we given away games before the break. And Cody, we can pull up some stats here in a second if you'd like. Brad Marchand was interviewed from TSN in the pregame, and he's like, "We gave away a bunch of games, that we shouldn't have given away, and this is where we're at."
Like they understand it, and if that's what costs us, like that's just how it's just going to be.
Are we 8 points behind still right now? I know.
Yes. We're 9 behind Buffalo, 8 behind Boston. We win tomorrow. We're 7 behind Buffalo. And like Boston, like we could get like we just stay with it. Like all right, like this upcoming schedule, we'll get into it. All of it's winnable, all of it.
Yeah. I know it's only me and Cody here today, so I'm going to try to get through everyone's comments. That'll be a big part of the show here. We'll show some stats as well. We might not go long, but we'll try to get through everyone's comments here. I have mentioned Joseph Wall if he ever becomes available, and if they're stuck on that Stolarz deal that hasn't even kicked in yet, and Dennis Hildeby has shown at least
one of them is going to be moved in the offseason.
Like I don't know how many Leafs have had good years, Cody, but you could probably put Dennis Hildeby in that category.
Yeah. And by the way, Ted, win a national championship, then talk to me.
Ted was coming in here going to be chirpy on you. I don't know where that came from, Cody, but he's ready to go here, ready to be back. So.
It's like second place. I guess they're so hyped about being second place. Oh, well, looking at the stat cards here.
Yeah, and I just want to get to this comment, then we'll get back to the comments, and I'll take this off the screen. The Oilers thing, we can get into that in a little bit here, but I think – the narrative there right now is like keep everything on Connor McDavid. Like they have Draisaitl, they have McDavid, they have Hyman. Ryan Nugent is a first overall pick. Bouchard's supposed to be a generational, at least offensive defenseman. So they have so many things there. They got to fix their back end and their goaltending.
Yeah, but like I saw a comment starting like A65 or something. But looking here for the Panthers, Evan Rodriguez leading the way. No surprise here. Really, like. I didn't see much of the fourth line.
No, that was the thing. Quiet, I would say, but I wouldn't say they were bad.
They weren't bad.
Tried to get going.
He tried. I don't think like having a quiet fourth line. I mean, I'm not gonna be too upset by it. Like,
can we say they were like a step behind tonight, but everyone else was like 2-3 steps ahead? That's what I.
Yeah, but they were kind of just net zero. Like I didn't have a problem. Like, of course. Can't be a Panthers game this year without a player leaving in the middle of the game. Cole Schwint leaving the game in the middle.
Oh man, I didn't even catch that on TSN
early in the third.
Wow.
So, but thankfully Nosek is practicing, so maybe we get him back relatively soon.
Nosek, Kulikov, even Jones, they're saying is pretty close.
Kulikov, we need back. It's like, whew.
Yeah. I thought Kulikov was going to be a ways away, so I don't know if his progression really I should say
he was skating very, very early. That's why I never felt like it was going to be as late as originally thought. But And then Marchand, Verhaeghe, Lundell. I thought Reiner had a pretty good game.
Yeah, Reinhardt. Now people are going to say, where was that in the Olympics? Or why didn't he get the ice time? I know he had limited ice time. I said this on the podcast. I didn't see kind of what I kind of saw tonight. And hey, sometimes that could be with professional athletes, Cody, just confidence. And maybe it's hard to get confidence when you're getting.
And on the back end, Forsling leading away with Mikkola, Balinskis, Ekblad, Petrie, Sabrina. I don't think that this was probably one of the better overall games we've seen from this iteration of the back end.
Were they tested enough tonight?
No, but I don't think – but they weren't out of position enough.
Yes, I agree.
To be tested like that. So,
like through the neutral zone, that's what the Leafs were giving them, and they just stacked up that blue line at times. 4 guys across the blue line.
Yeah, and it was pretty funny. And then, moving on here, let me throw up the money puck right here.
Fernando, good point there. I agree.
Money puck stats. As stated earlier, Evan Rodriguez, 9 shots on goal here tonight.
He had 7 after 20 minutes, I believe. He outshot the Leafs 7-6.
And Bennett had a good night in the dot, so that's something that's probably going to have to continue. 11 shot attempts for Erod. Every Panther except Will Vanish and Swin had a shot attempt.
That's a lot of faceoffs for Bennett, by the way.
But I think they had a lot of ozone starts, so I think that's where they're going to get it. Then takeaways, giveaways, 3 by Matthew Tkachuk, but that's just Matthew Tkachuk. I don't think any of them were egregious.
Yeah, just Matthew had that one kind of pass out of the zone there where you're trying to get cute around the goal line. So they're still forcing that bumper play. How many power plays did we have tonight?
3.
I think it was the first one or the second one.
It was the second one.
Force that bumper play there, and 3 guys are clamped on Reinhardt. That's where you got to go back to the point. And we have to figure out something in this offseason, be it Seth Jones, be it another option, be it a 5-forward look. Who knows what they do next training camp? We always get different looks in training camp when it comes to our power play and special teams every year, it seems, except going into maybe 23-24 season, but then we had injuries there. So, again, I think we got to see what it looks like next year, Cody, because there has to be a bit of an adjustment made there. Every team around the NHL.
23-24.
They know to, clamp down on Reinhardt.
23-24, the only difference was they tried to Erod on power play 1 to start that year.
Yeah, and then we had OEL coming in as a substitute teacher with the power play.
But next year is going to be interesting because – it's now that Marchand is probably going to be power play 1, you're going to throw him out there with Barkov, Tkachuk, Reinhardt, and
that's interesting, Beef Cat. If he is indeed the
I think he'll be back for the Islander game.
Wow,
Islander or Red Wings.
Antonio, are you speaking of the Blackhawks here or the Panthers here?
Probably Blackhawks, but
He's not specified. He's just throwing.
I don't mind that 10-game winning streak. If we're not in a playoff spot with a 10-game winning streak, I'm gonna be a little bit upset. But
Adonis, let us know where you think Kulikov kind of fits into the lineup and where you think he'll be big coming back. Just minute allotment, all that type of stuff.
I know exactly where he's gonna be in this lineup when he comes back. Next to Mikkola.
That's true. Yeah, without Jones back in there. There's Antonio there with the Let's Go Cats there. Get through some other stuff here.
This was a big game for the Panthers to come back. I mean, this is probably the biggest win in terms of goal differential we've had in a minute.
Yeah, on the advanced numbers there and things like that. Yeah, I agree.
But anyway, I guess before we continue on any further, let's hear a word from our sponsor, CatsNR.
Panthers fever is here. Are you geared up? CatsNR in Davie is the place for all your Florida Panthers needs. They have the latest gear for our favorite NHL team. Jerseys, polos, t-shirts, hoodies, hats, and more. CatsNR has you covered. Stop by their store in Davie or at pantherswear.com. Again, that's pantherswear, WEAR.com for all your Panthers gear.
Let's hear another word from other sponsor, Jeremy Beckham at Bexell's FLA. Champions don't settle, And neither should you. Let me introduce Jeremy Beckham at Beck Sells FLA, bringing a competitive edge to South Florida luxury real estate. If you want a home that performs in all three zones, location, lifestyle, and long-term value, Jeremy is your play. The clock is ticking. Let's go for the cup. Reach out now at becksellsfla.com.
I'll give Cody a minute here. Didn't give him this warning. We do have a new contest. I don't know.
I have it up. I'm ready.
Perfect. Just want to let everyone know, subscribe to our channel. Make sure to like this video. Thank you to everyone again during the Olympic break. We had over 100,000 views. We appreciate all of you to be around for any portions of those live streams. Our post-game shows did great numbers as well. Thank you, everyone. Make sure to comment on these videos, especially on our podcast videos. Comment on there. We do get some great discussion and banter going there. Appreciate that, especially from the members weighing in there. And we always like to get back to you guys and do our best there. Purchase super chat donation anytime when we're live, just like Die Hard and Fernando did tonight. We appreciate that, gentlemen. You can buy your own membership. We have gold, silver, and bronze tier. That will continue throughout this season, post-Olympics here. So make sure to check that out. You can upgrade your membership, as Cody will mention here in a moment, with our great new exciting contest for gold and silver members. You can gift membership to other members of the community and access to other great perks. And speaking of which, Cody?
Yep. Hey, everyone. We are giving away this Brad Marchand autograph photo courtesy of Andrew Hoffman and the Boca Car Show, which will take place once again this coming July. All active gold and silver members are automatically entered, and we will be announcing the winner in the coming weeks. Good luck, and let's go Cats.
Thank you very much there, Cody. We are back for a second half here. If you guys have any questions there in the chat, make sure to hit us up there.
Ladies and gentlemen, we need to now look forward.
That's right.
Tomorrow night, probably the biggest game of the season up to this point versus the Buffalo Sabres. You need to gain ground on everybody, and Buffalo is one of them. And after this game tonight, I'm confident we can get the job done. You just need another good performance just in front of Bob, and got to get to Buffalo early. So,
got a comment from our great moderator, David, here. I think 3-1 in the next 4, counting the win tonight here. The Devils game is the game after this weekend here. So we have Saturday off, then Sunday against the Islanders, and then is it Tuesday, I believe, against New Jersey?
Tuesday versus the Devils.
Yep. So I agree with David here, 3-1. Now, a lot of people are talking about that draft pick. We've commented on that before, Cody. But again, nothing's a guarantee when it comes to the lottery either. You can try to play the lottery game and get bit, right? Because there's going to be teams here, like we saw tonight with the Leafs. Teams are going to start dropping out here. We're going to see some out west. There's going to be teams out west that want to make a push, like Seattle and Anaheim and those type of teams, I truly believe. But there's going to be teams dropping out there, and there's going to be a few more dropping out here in the East just because of the sheer amount of points that you need here.
And like I said, I think you like I said, all the games coming up are winnable. These are all winnable games.
Now, this part here from Die Hard, I'm not worried about this because we don't have a good home record this year. It's not good at all. And I saw the Leafs that have to go on the road for 14 out of 24 games, I think, in their remaining. So they're pretty much cooked. They have not been good on the road. We have a pedigree of winning. They even said it tonight on the TSN broadcast. They're like, the Panthers are in a different world and stratosphere right now than the Leafs because they've done it before. They have the winning pedigree. They have the belief in the room. But that doesn't mean we're going to get the job done. But that is there. Where other teams, Cody, I don't think they have that. When they look at their daunting schedule where they have like 14 remaining road games and only 10 at home, I don't think this team worries about the home and road story.
Wait, who's the one that you said has like the road games?
I think the Leafs have 14 of their last 24 on the road, and they have not been a good road team this year, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. I think we need to get better at home. Our home record has been a little.
Like if we want, let's play this little game here. Let's look at the
chat?
remaining strength of schedule remaining.
Oh, okay.
And look who's there as number 2. Boop-a-doop-a-doop. Right there, Boston. And they have Tampa twice, Carolina, Dallas, Minnesota, Pittsburgh twice. Well, I don't know if that's hard. And then, Montreal. But even their weaker games, these are not easy games right here.
Now, I like to see Detroit there at 5 because I've called them frauds and I've seen the numbers. against top 6 teams in the NHL, they have one of the worst records, and against the bottom 6 or bottom 10, they have one of the best. But they're getting so far ahead now of the pack. Where does that start to play out for Detroit? They have the 5th hardest schedule.
Yeah, Buffalo at 4 here.
4? Yeah, Buffalo, is that the team we have to look at here with this game now and catching them?
Maybe, but then you have look at Florida right here, 19 in the league.
Mm-hmm.
And most of their hard games, according to this, are in the Atlantic.
Montreal's 9th. It's a team you can kind of look at, but when you start to talk double-digit points, it can be very hard to kind of race down one of those teams. But yeah, Montreal's got a tough look at the schedule.
Because the one thing I think that's helping Florida is they've played all their games versus the Lightning already. There's no more Tampa Bay games, which is thankfully I would love to see some hockey because those teams can't play hockey versus damn each other.
Good point here by Beef Cat. I know like Barkov is that joker in the hand, that wild card that we can pull here at any point. But yeah, like I also don't want to be reliant on like what we expect out of Barkov and things like that. But again, they are mentioning like end of March here being the timeline stuff, which is just crazy.
That's insane.
Where are we going to be? What are we going to be in like?
We'll see.
Right.
As I said about Barkov, Russian machine don't break. He may be Finnish because he's from Finland, but he's Russian.
There's the math from David there. Yeah, you're getting to the point where I don't know. Is it around 8 losses you can only have?
I think around there, yes.
Right. So if you guys
because 8 losses with 25 games remaining, you're at
what does that put
17 and 18, which is 34 points, not including any OT losses, and we are currently at what are we at?
I don't even know right now.
Oh, what's the banner say? Did you change the banner just now?
Oh, it's on the banner there.
Yep. 34 will put us at 95 points, and that may be 2 points out.
That might be 2-3 points out. So even maybe
7. 7 would put you at 97. But then again, I'm not including any loser points. So
yeah, you got to get into all that, some of the head-to-head stuff too.
I think to be in, like you would have to be right around 20 wins to be confidently in.
Right around 20. This is the part, Beef Cat, I've been talking to the community with on this Olympic break. People seeing now that we have this top 10 protected pick. And I'm like, you have to look at the players in the room, the interpersonal relationships, and the compete level and drive from this team. They're not a team to pack it in. You could say that and argue that about other teams around the league, about your other favorite sports teams potentially. But like this is one of the teams in all of sports that you can really look at and say, are these guys really going to pack it in like as much as we would want them to get that pick if things are not going to pan out here over the next few days? That's where I kind of question that too. So the alternative would be is just like try to push for it here now. And I know Nick has even said that off air to me, Cody, where he was starting to look at that draft pick, maybe about a week left, 5 days left before the Olympic break there. And now coming out of this Olympic break, kind of looking at the standings, as daunting as it may be, we have these games over the next, 4 or 5 days here, where if you can stack wins, try to gain some ground, then you kind of have a fighting chance. Maybe after these 4 games, you're within 5 or 6 points, maybe, of the team you have to chase. There's Nick right now.
And Tarasov's going to get the start tomorrow because of back-to-back. He better be on his game.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
You were looking at that Tampa Bay game that he wasn't so good with there. Nick, I know you're confident right now stringing them together, and these are winnable games if you can put together consistency. But this is, like I said, about the Leafs here tonight. They haven't shown consistency this year. We have struggled with it. I know the reasons why. Injuries. You could say this team
It's a different lineup every night.
Right? But it's having a different lineup every night, so you do have to look at it as in, okay, tomorrow can we get a good push from the fourth line that was a little quieter tonight? Can we get some offense driving us from the back end? Different things and elements to get you consistent. I'm not asking for the same line or same players to be consistent, but as a team collectively, we have to find other ways. Tonight was kind of Bob, even though we gave him that run support. Yeah. Bob had a pretty good night. So can Tarasov give us that look and game tomorrow?
Instead of it was Marchand Verhaeghe tonight. Let's tomorrow be Reinhart Bennett. Kind of
Sorry.
And instead of Erod, let it be Lusto or something. Like, it's kind of like that kind of thing.
Yeah. Now, I think this has been the problem, not with the Panthers, but all around the league. How many teams have had 6-7 game winning streaks? Are we going to start to see these longer winning streaks now that the Olympics is over? Why were we not seeing them before? Right?
I just think it's been such a tough league to kind of win in, like, this year, the way everyone's kind of stacked up.
Tough
because it's an anomaly year.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
which we talked about that 3-4 years ago. Was it the President's Trophy year?
Yeah, where everyone that made it was 100 points or above.
Now, the exception to that rule is there's not a team like completely running away with it like Florida, Tampa has in the past, Boston has.
The only team running away with it is Colorado, but
yeah, over in the West. But we're not getting that right now here from the East. So
yeah,
I don't know. I'm not even wondering if we can do a 6-7 game winning streak. I'm wondering how many teams around the league.
Yeah, right? Just like we just got to focus on us. Like to me, I'm not scoreboard watching until we finish our business.
I don't. Okay, on a night like tonight, we're doing content. We're watching our team. We're a fan of the Panthers. I don't scoreboard watch overly when we're playing. But on off nights, Cody, I do personally. I'm like, can we make up points here? I put tweets out to let the community know. If I'm home that night, even if I'm not home, I look at my phone. Okay, where are we at with these 3 losses? Or these are the games that we have to watch tonight. So I do a little bit of that. Even when I'm busy, I'm like, where are we at right now in the standings on our off night? But when we're playing, it's like a player coach. I'm focused on what we're doing. I'm not flipping around. I've got all the games on my package. I'm not flipping around and seeing, okay, what's this team doing right now? Like, I'm locked in on what we're doing.
But I read somewhere that Jones officially was diagnosed with a fractured collarbone. I forget where I read that.
Well, that would be important to where you read that.
I forget where. I remember seeing it. But him coming back is probably the biggest one. I know Barkov and all that, but to me, it's Jones right now. Because if you get Kulikov and Jones back, your D is set to where it was before. 24-0.
Ted, are you in football mode right now?
Yeah, he's probably still wondering when the Natty's gonna. They're probably still wondering about the Natty, but yeah.
Beef Cat, where did you hear that? Let us know.
I forgot where I read it, but I believe it was like a Panthers beat writer, but like.
Do I even want to know what David is commenting on there, Cody? Why do I not know what he means by that?
Where?
In the chat. The letter Z or Z word. I'll say both ways. So you guys know I know both letters.
Oh, Lord.
Don't want to put that one up or what?
I mean, I'm not like a huge Jones fan. I just know what he means to this team and this lineup.
I think what Caesar is referring back to is when we were talking about stuff.
Oh, and I didn't want him? Look, I told you what I wanted.
At me when I said he's a winner and dog. You eye rolled it.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
I told you talking about the red, white, and blue of USA World Juniors.
I told you guys what I wanted to do, and I wasn't wrong in what I said. I'm still gonna stand on it.
But go ahead. What do you mean? Elaborate.
I said I didn't want Jones because I'm like I'd rather go after Dobson in the offseason. That's what I said.
But you know I like Dobson, and also on that point, you wanted retention. Cody, of course I wanted retention, even though I liked him. I wanted even more retention than what we got, probably 500,000 to $1 million more. But I know when I brought it up on Spaces, you and Nick would shoot it down sometimes because right away you look at the contract, and all the negative headlines were out there from the chart boys. Let's be honest. And Nick was more on it as we got closer to it. But then I would have to throw Connor Murphy out there and other names out there. We eventually got to Adam Boquist, which, again, he was not at the top of my list. But, again, I wanted retention on Jones, but I thought he could be a fit for us. You can't move on from Uyghur. You can't move on from Monter and not replace that player within the system. We value that number 3 defenseman, that right shot guy. That guy and Uyghur was more of a top pairing guy. I get that, but we really value.
It was the same. It was the same kind of thing. Like like if we want to go number 3 back then, it was Gudis. Like it was.
Yeah, where you had to have that, which was at the time my favorite Forsling iteration of a pairing with Gudis. But like we've always valued that guy in that role of like getting special teams minute, getting that extra ice time. Right now tonight, I think they said on the Leafs broadcast, Gustav Forsling leads the team on ice time this season. He wouldn't have led the team in ice time if Seth Jones was healthy in the lab. Seth Jones was leading this team.
Yeah, and but this like defense, it was like I gave Zito a pass after 23-24 because of the cap restraint.
Nick, I'm going back to years ago on Spaces. You never shot it down with the contract that he had and the play level that he was having. I'm talking about way back. I'm not talking about up to last year when you were on board for that. Yes, you were. You were on board. I'm talking about way back. Because every time I brought him up, I felt like you guys were shooting me down. I'm like, okay, Connor Murphy or someone else. Because, like, looking at the salary, like, of course there needs to be retention on it. If they're going to move Darnell Nurse in Edmonton, some team's going to take that contract? No. And that's where you play yourself out of. I've said the same thing on Dougie Hamilton, right? And I think they've got to the point in Rowe where it's like, okay, a team that's going to take on Dougie Hamilton, what are they going to give up? Is that fair, Nick?
Yeah, but like after 23-24, remember, we did not have much cap space after we re-signed Ryan.
Well, and this was the thing on the post-game show. During the Paul Maurice first year,
we didn't have anything.
22, 23?
Yeah.
Yeah, like every time I brought up options, Cody's like, we don't have 2 nickels to spare. And I'm like, I'm trying to work things in here, but it's like, you're kind of right. It was a gap year and we couldn't do anything. And that's what was frustrating for everyone. Why is Mark Stahl in our lineup? And we got on, why is Colin White in the lineup? We got on him quite
We had no choice.
We had no one else. We had guys in the minors that Paul Maurice didn't even trust to call up that I wanted to see. Who was that defenseman that was from Nashville and Ottawa? We didn't even give him a game. It was a tough guy. I can't remember his name. He was out of
Delzato?
Not Delzato, the other guy. I wonder if Nick knows if he's listening. I wanted them to give him a chance, but they didn't even trust to give him a chance. So they got Mahura off of waivers. They put him in the lap. They even put Casey Fitzgerald.
That's when we had Delzato.
But there was another guy there. He was like, I thought kind of a tough guy. He's kind of a career HLer, but he did get some NHL games, if I'm not mistaken. But they didn't, like Paul Maurice didn't even trust guys in the gap year to get games within our system. That's how, desperate we were. We weren't even giving guys a chance that were down there in the minors,
Like, hold up. Was he I'm trying to think, really trying to think. We signed
if you say his name, it's a different type of name.
Hold up.
Bizzetto? Is that his name? Cody will find if you could find Charlotte's lineup.
Delzato, it was.
I think he was a.
Nathan Stales was a rookie.
Not Stales. He was a veteran guy. He came from Nashville and Ottawa's system. But I wanted to give him a chance, and we didn't.
Are you not Tierney?
Not Tierney. It was keep going. It was like last year. Remember, we gave what's his name a chance that we moved on from San Jose. There, we gave the big defense Magna.
Oh.
Caesar met him, I think. One of Caesar's buddies. I like that we gave Magna a chance, but we Paul Maurice didn't even trust guys in that first year to call guys up and to give them an opportunity, a chance. And you had a lot of guys you could have sat. I know you're up against the cap, but you could have called a guy. But they're like, oh, if we don't have room to call a guy, we'll make room.
Who the hell could you even be talking about? Was it from 22-23?
Help him out, Nick. You know who I mean. Yeah, I got in war with Panther content creators and Panther fans about Seth Jones when he was in Columbus. I go back and can find those.
Delzato's the only one I can think of.
Cody, he had to get games in Charlotte. Man, it's gonna bother me now. You want me to look?
Was it 22-23?
Yeah, quite positive. Paul Maurice's first year, we signed all those guys, all those Ottawa guys. He was Nashville, I want to say / Ottawa. Help us out in the chat. No one knows what I'm talking about here. I'm pretty sure he's a defenseman. Nick doesn't even know the name here. Do you want me? Do you want me to give a second? You carry on here.
I swear it's the only guy I remember was Delzato, unless you have the year wrong.
Would it show on Hockey Reference?
I'm on ESPN. I'm looking.
I don't know if it would show on Hockey Reference. Let me look up Charlotte Checkers. You guys can help us in the chat here. We're going to a standstill looking this up.
I have no idea who you're even talking about. Nashville and Ottawa?
Yeah, quite certain.
Borowiecki? That's the only guy I can think of.
No, that guy was a senator back in the day, right?
Yeah, he was a senator and a predator.
I can't be dreaming this.
I think
I wonder, do you think he got games in the AHL or did they send him down to the E?
Like,
Gary Mayhew, remember that name from Philly?
Yeah. He was a Flyer.
Patrick Giles was on that team. Lefty, remember him? You were high on him.
Yeah, I remember him. Like,
And now I'm getting to the defense.
dude, Corey Connor.
There he is, Anthony Boteto.
He was a Ranger.
He wasn't a Predator?
He was a Ranger.
I thought he was a Predator. You sure?
He's a Ranger. He might have been a Predator, but he was 100% a Ranger before he came to us.
I knew I wasn't thinking of the guy. I got the teams wrong. You sure? That's why I wasn't sure in Ottawa. But
but he was
I thought that's how we got him.
No, he was a freaking offensive guy.
So he played with the Barracuda, San Jose, Hartford Wolfpack, and Milwaukee Admirals. Milwaukee is Nashville.
Yeah, but he played for we signed him from the Rangers.
But I don't even get NHL, but he's part of the Nashville organization. He played like 150 games for them in the AHL, I think. I don't know if he
Boteto was who you were thinking about.
Yeah, like I wanted to see him play. You didn't want to see him play?
I don't remember.
That's how much penalty minutes he had that? He had 88 penalty minutes that year.
Don't wonder why he didn't get called up. He was more of a puck moving offensive guy. And that was his last season.
Oh, we got some stuff here from Beef Cat.
Panthers digestion from Marco, but didn't need surgery, just rest.
So talking Panthers Digest, the guy on Instagram there, I think that was sourced from somewhere, but where was that? Where was the article from?
I forgot. Was it Dwork?
Trying to find.
Was it Dwork or Richards?
Oh, one or the other. Well, it should be easy to find it if you just type in Seth Jones on Dwork, or you can message him.
Oh my goodness, Boteto. I didn't no. He was an offensive puck moving guy.
Stop, Adonis. Stop in the chat.
Oh my goodness. He was I think
he was more of a defensive defenseman. He was.
He was a puck mover.
You call him a puck mover, really? I thought he was more of a defensive. He plays like
he ran power plays in the AHL.
He ran power plays?
Yes.
That's not what I was asking him to do with Florida. I was asking him to come some minutes on the bottom pairing. Geez, man, we need some help here. I can't go with Fitzgerald in the Stanley Cup final. Throw a black ace out there. Get Barkov on defense. Throw a black ace out there.
You want Nas out there?
Whatever, man. I was like, geez. That still helps me, that Mahura and Fitzgerald pairing. I didn't get as mad as Sam Bennett tonight as I thought he would after that Team Canada performance.
It's not yet. It's gonna come. It's gonna be like that dumb penalty that's gonna trigger you.
Yeah, maybe with our season on the line. Yeah, that's true. Or when we talk to our boy Thieves over on the Twitter X post-game show on the weekend.
Oh, you're not gonna want to hear it from me.
Believe it. We might be back here tomorrow night, everyone. Sunday we might be on Spaces. We're gonna figure out one or the other. We will be here. The other one we will be away. You can join us over on the Twitter X platform, or you can wait to join us here when we are back. We'll be here Saturday night for After Dark. Jim Behringer will be away. I hope to have our boy Cesar Lucero and Nick Levine with us.
Kirby, your thoughts on Bob's new set?
Yeah, Nick said off air he really loves the new set and gear. I'm not a big – I always say this as a color, and I know it's our color here.
Right here. You like the red?
I'm not a big red guy. And I'm on the pads. Yeah, Scott Clemenson and other guys. I didn't mind his set that he had. Bob is very vanilla and generic. Now, the best mask he was going to have, Adonis, you probably know this, was the Beezer throwback mask. But there was some dispute with the artist, trademark, different things like that, and he wasn't able to wear it. And then he went with kind of that generic flying.
I like the mask, though.
Yeah, the one now? I don't mind the mask now. The little blue color, it's a little bit like a kind of like cartoon fade.
I don't mind the brighter blue.
Yeah, it's a different look for sure. But I would say Bob's one of the top goalies in our organization.
No.
That could masks. Like we've had Trevor Kidd come through the door. Obviously, John Van Beesbrook. I would say Thomas Vokoun, even though he kept it simple, I would say a little bit more of an ode to him. And there's other goalies I'm probably forgetting. I can't remember Theodore.
Like Beezer probably has the most iconic one.
Yeah, Craig Anderson had a sneaky good one. I think he had kind of the cat coming down on the chin area there, the leaping cat.
That's why I wish about hockey. like goalies are the only type really of player to really have any swag. Like it's
Yes, and I think
like,
it's missing a little bit in this era of hockey, where maybe
all the other swag was outlawed because like Bruder, like the goalies got mad at the tinted visor because like we can't see his eyes. Like,
well, and the goalies, they tried to add creative expression with the cat eyes, but that became dangerous because the puck can go through there and obviously it's thick. So they couldn't do that. I think Ben Bishop, obviously Jonathan Quick. Jonathan Quick, he's had some swag and style. But yeah, I think it's been very lacking in this past generation of goaltenders, and I hope it to come back. But it's just
like there isn't like any Carey Prices anymore. Like Carey had some good masks or whatever.
Yeah.
There isn't that many like.
But I grew up on Mike Richter, John Van Beesbrook, Ed Belfour, Curtis Joseph. Like I go on and on. I'm just through 4 guys. Trevor Kidd.
The pads pattern was a lot better back in the day.
Yeah, like Trevor Kidds and stuff. Now you had Arthur Urbe, who wore like pillows on his legs. The first ever, I want to say, San Jose Sharks goalie, or one of the first ever San Jose Sharks goalie. So he had the opposite of swag and style. But so many guys around the National Hockey League had that style and flair to them, and I'm not sure why that's out of the game. The goaltending position should still be viewed like that. The goalie is going to get tension and the spotlight is on him. I don't quite understand why that's the case. I don't know. Lack of French-Canadian goalies maybe now could play a part. I don't know. Some of these European guys that come in with it. That one guy in Finland actually did, the World Junior goalie this year. He had really nice setup. Go check that out.
I thought like people were asking like who had the best jersey of the Olympics. I think it's Finland. Like their jerseys were nice.
You loved Finland's. Yeah, I think there was a lot of good jerseys. Sweden's blues were very sneaky good. But the goalies, they said now they have these 3D art print on it, and the NHL goalies can afford it, not the run-of-the-mill amateur goalie. They say it wears off really quick, but NHL goalies, like I know they want to probably work in their gear, not have new gear all the time, but they could get a lot of different designs from artists.
Yeah. And you know what's funny is like, in terms of Olympic jerseys, I don't know if you're going to agree with me on this. I thought Canada's was kind of towards the bottom.
Well, Ryan didn't like it. He commented on the red with the black maple leaf. He did like the whites. The whites kind of grew on us, and I understand that. But I kept telling Ryan, as Canada, you got to wear the red.
It's the red.
It's not their best red. I think the Four Nations hit it out of the park. I think the World Cup was good and solid. This one wasn't one of their best of the last 3 or 4. I'm with you there, right?
I don't think it was. Because I thought Slovakia had good jerseys. I thought the U.S. had better than what they did with Four Nations. With the
everyone always likes the Czechs because there's like a lot of detail to their crest.
Yeah, I thought Finland's hit them out the park.
Yeah, you like Finland's, but I've always been biased to the 3 Crowns in Sweden. Their yellows are always classic, but their blues were sneaky good this year. So they had their blue set and their gold set. So I'll favor. I'll say with Finland, I think they had the best goal song. I know what you guys are saying with Freebird and all that. I get that. Sure. But I'm not just picking against USA here. Again, I didn't grow up in Leonard Skinner or whatever.
But you're the type that would like Finnish music a bit.
But yeah, like that alarm clock. And that's the goal song that they've had since Patrick Laine, Jesse Puljujärvi, former Panther, and was it Sebastian Aho? And I might be forgetting another guy. That's when they had that dominant World Junior team.
Right, so I think did the Flyers?
They won bronze with it this year.
Yeah. So Flyers win in overtime. Shout out Fernando. But Freebird,
I think that's iconic now. And now with USA winning gold,
I think it's synonymous. It's synonymous with US success. Like it's just there because the World Junior team started that trend with back-to-back the World Junior.
But who brought it in originally?
I think it was the World Junior team.
But like a certain particular person is credited.
I'm not too sure. I just know I first heard it with the World Juniors team.
They probably, and I'm giving everyone free material and content. They probably should go do a 30-30 on who originated and who brought it into the USA hockey. So
and then the women, like they won, and then we won the World Hockey Championships
on the women's side too.
Yeah, it just carries.
Canada's done that with some bands where oh man, I can't even think of it now. Gord Lightfoot or whatever.
Yeah,
he passed away. So yeah, there's like different odes to different musicians and stuff, and then teams end up running with it. But I do like seeing change. But in the USA situation, even Finland, I think those are songs they're going to stick with for a while. You see other nations maybe.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit. I think Freebird is going to be with this generation.
The Russia one, like fans that don't even know best with Russia, if they return in the World Cup, it's freaking opera, screaming top of their lungs. It's different. Dylan vibe for Rush.
And you know, it's funny, wrapping up here, like best goal song I think I like, Chelsea Dagger for the Blackhawks is good, but the Habs before the one they have now, they had another one. It was like early 2010s.
Yeah, the Habs.
It was so good.
Kovalev, yes. I'm like,
yeah,
and it got the crowd just going along, and then there's a buzz after it. It's like a slow build with the crowd, and then they're just on their feet.
But anything else, Kirby?
Crescendo, I think, is the word.
Yeah, but if you are a gold or silver member, you're automatically entered in.
Yeah, don't have to do anything there, JC. And JC is going to be doing our next jersey contest giveaway. So I appreciate that, JC. We're going to roll that out in the following weeks here. The Marchand one, everyone's going to ask, when does it draw in? We'll give it a few weeks, but try to be a member early on, because we want to have members here and have you written down, because when I do the draw date, it could be a very random day. So sign up as quickly as you can. We'll keep letting everyone know over the next.
But anyway, I think that's going to wrap us up here tonight.
Yep.
Panthers win 5-1, huge victory. We will stay tuned to Kirby's Twitter. That'll let you know what we will be tomorrow night.
We always put the YouTube schedule out here, and you guys know where to reach me too. You guys should be in the group chats by now if you're members. If you're not members, you guys can always reach out to me too with our handles here. We can put them at the bottom of the screen. I know we haven't done it in a while. It's kind of got buried down here. Here's where you guys can find us on Instagram here. And then as well on X, make sure you drop Cody and Nick and Big C's a follow there too over on it.
Appreciate it. But anyway, signing off here tonight for the absent Big C's and Nicholas J. Levine. For Kirby Lupel and myself, we say thank you. And as always, let's go Cats.
Side of you, so I remove what's right at you. The beating undivided, all the voices in my head.